My husband is best friend with his ex-wife. My husband 36M and I, 34F, had been married for 8 years, together for 14, and we have a 4-year-old daughter that is our whole life. He had been married before with Eliza, his best friend. They married at 18 and lasted 2 years and divorced. They remained best friend, and when we started dating, Eliza, my husband's other best friend Jack, and my husband were a tight-knit. Eliza was one of the bros, and I always was the girlfriend, and later the wife, always an outsider. His 2 friends are single, so our house was always a place to crash. Even since we moved together, they would show unannounced and do their own thing while I made snacks and full meals. For the first year I tried my best to integrate into their clique, but never worked out. It was always awkward, and I felt I was inserting myself where I didn't belong, so I stopped trying and relegate myself to be great host and let them do their things. I didn't notice at first, but over the years resentment had built. I feel like a 50s housewife serving drinks and lighting cigarettes to men. My husband on his own is amazing and love him. He had been a great partner and my best friend during this 14 years. Problem is, I'm not his best friend, Eliza is. Every single thing that happens in our life had to be discussed and analyzed with Eliza. Early in our relationship I got pregnant. I took the test early in the night and we were really scared. Despite this, he was so reassuring with me, holding me the whole night, and told he was ready to do whatever I wanted to do. I said I needed to really think about it. Next day we went to our classes and agreed to lunch together. When we met, he asked me how I was and all, then told he had the contact of a doctor who did abortions. It was illegal back then. I asked how he found one so fast when wasn't sure what to do. Answer: he called Eliza early in the morning and she had a friend. I felt so betrayed because this was something that belonged to me and he went and shared it with someone else. Not just someone else's. Eliz, come on. Zranya. During the next days, every time I saw him, he has new information from Eliza and Eliza's friend. I was so confused and scared, and Eliza convinced my boyfriend we needed to it fast because it would be easier. It was so much pressure, I agreed. Long story short, it was a rat hole doctor office and I almost died there. To this day I don't know if I should have kept the baby or no. But better not think about it. When my boyfriend proposed, Eliza was fake mad. He didn't said first to her he was going to propose to me. The only way to placate her was to has her as a best man, despite my husband having a male best friend. Every little or major event in our life turns into, yeah, I'm gonna tell now Eliza, you know how she gets? I was SA as a child and told this to my husband. He was the first person I talked about it. Months later, Eliza and I were alone in out kitchen and she started to talk about something she heard in the news about a girl raped by a family member and then hugged me. When I started to try for a child and I got pregnant, I asked my husband to keep this for us for a little. It was Sunday when I saw Eliza. She congratulated me. I ended up miscarrying. I started to look for a doctor to help me deal with my depression, again, something I wanted to keep to myself. Eliza was so understanding. When I was pregnant with my daughter, Eliza came full of advice on things I should do. I told her to mind her own bussiness, which really hurt her feelings. I stood on my ground and told my husband I wasn't going to raise my kid with Eliza and didn't want to hear any advice from her. This was a big fight with my husband because I was rude and Eliza was family and already considered herself an auntie. This had been the only time I had given an ultimatum to my husband: Eliza better keep herself away from my motherhood or we'll leave. Now resentment has reached a point when I don't want her near me or my house or my husband. I feel she is more married to my husband than I. My whole life feels like I live best friends to lover drama. I'm not sure why I'm writing this. Probably because I'm alone in a coffee shop and thinking I want my husband to be my husband and not feel like a lame love interest in someone else's epic love story. In the past, my husband thought I was being childish. Despite loving him, I can't keep to be married like this. I don't feel I can trust to talk to him again without involving Eliza. I don't want to hold an ultimatums. TLDR, my husband is best friend with his ex-wife. I don't trust him anymore. Update 1: I'm gonna start saying how thankful I'm to everybody that showed grace on my last post. This isn't a happy update. If anything, welcome to the pity, angsty train. After writing my post and reading how most people felt about, my head was full of doubts and sadness. Your opinion isn't a surprise since most of my friends and family had voiced the same at some point. I guess I'm too slow and need to be punched harder to understand. Few days after my post, I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. Having a large family is what we always wanted, and ever since my abortion I was left with a feeling of having empty arms. So holding my daughter in my arms was like feeling whole again, and no, I need to grow my arms even more to hold my new baby too. But after the initial happiness, a ugly feeling started to grow in my stomach. I didn't want Eliza in our life. It felt like taking my innocence glasses out and I was able to see her. Like really see her. How every smile was so damn fake. Every compliment was always mean spirit or kinda a self-compliment. Nice potato salad, it was great. Oh, remember, to my husband. That potato salad I made, it was kinda unbelievable, blah blah blah. Or nice outfit, I love how confident you are. I can't leave the house without making sure my outfit is flawless. Her reaction to my first pregnancy, wedding, travels, my second pregnancy, buying a house. How everything that should be between my husband and I, always include her, like if our life was a play she should write and direct. On our first Christmas together she came when we were decorating, and with all his positive critics, I ended sitting in a corner drinking wine while she and my husband decorate. She is always here. And by here I mean in my life. She has a say in everything in my life, to the point that when my husband voices his opinion I can say when these are his words and when are Eliza's. I'm no saying that since I wrote the last post everybody turned into ultimate evils, but thinking and rethinking about my life with my husband, I had always been a passive character. It's like my husband got himself a pet and he and Eliza are going to be endgame when they both realize they never stop loving each other. Some of you, as my sister, will say I'm dormant. I guess I am. I have let this go for so long that it becomes normal. My life isn't bad, my husband hasn't been a bad husband, and Eliza isn't so bad if the bar is she hasn't tried to kill me yet. I know is clear to you all, but to me it have been my life for years, my day-to-day. I learned to look away and make me small so I don't make others uncomfortable. Maybe because I'm pregnant and hormonal, but I'm tired of this. I love my husband, but I feel he can't love fully with Eliza whispering to his ear and him running like a golden retriever to please her. So after all that thinking and rethinking I sat my husband down and told him we needed to set some strong boundaries because our marriage was working and I didn't feel loved or respected like a wife or even a person. I explained more or less what I said here. My husband denied everything and tried to explain himself, saying Eliza was like a sister to him. I say even siblings have boundaries. It was back and forth, with him making me doubt if maybe I was in fact trying to control who was or wasn't in his life. Wanting to monitor his friendships, and even joked if we'll need to sly away to have a drink with his buds. For a moment I feel maybe I was in fact crazy. But I was firm into my ground. If he wanted to keep this marriage, Eliza needs to be gone from our life. At first I thought low contact was good, but seeing his reaction I knew that wasn't going to be enough. Maybe I wouldn't be seeing Eliza, but he certainly will do, and I would be antagonized and mocked. Honestly, knowing this made me realize my marriage was over. So I asked important questions and pressed what his real feelings were. Why they divorced if they were so hung into each other. Why no leave me sooner? Why no leave me? Did he loves Eliza more than me? Why? What is that? What is that I don't have and she does that makes her impossible to leave? In a summary, he loves her, but he loves me. He doesn't understand how. Both of us bring something he doesn't want to miss. He is not sure if he wants a life with Eliza like the one we have, a marriage, a family. But she is his soulmate. They divorced because between then it was so much fire that we're burning each other. With me he has calm, peace and loving place to come back. He have never cheated, but admits he sometimes fantasies with her being me and me being her. They often talk about them having this life but agree that being together would break their bond. All fucked up, my God. I know as was kind of obvious to you all on my first post, and it should have been obvious to me, but hearing my husband saying he loves another woman that is his soulmate and he put her in the center of our life, made her an auntie to our daughter and some kind of sister-in-law to me, a supposed family friend. I'm not gonna lie, it broke me. I threw myself on the floor and hugged his legs and asked him what I need to do to him to love me, to only love me. I felt so pathetic, but I believed everything was worth to save something with so much value like my marriage. I cried and cried and cried. And the hardest part was to hear there was nothing I could do. This is all. I know isn't some shocking new. To me my life is falling apart. The only thing holding me up are two little hands that hug me every night and the small bean in my belly. We haven't discussed anything legal yet. He left the house and my sister and mom and staying with us for now.